Alright, hello. Welcome to another resin pour video. I am excited to finally pour this one, as the painting itself took me a really long time, but I'm pretty happy with it. So we're just going to get right into it. What I've done to kind of prepare for this is I have gone ahead on the sides and I have both painted and put a layer of what do you call it? Oh my gosh. Um Varnish. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. A layer of varnish on to protect it, because what I want to do is I want to pour the resin over the top and it'll dome on the top and hopefully not pour over onto the edges. So that's the goal. That's what we're going for, and we will do our best to achieve that. Now, this is for later. You get to play with fire. That's always the most fun part. I've got a couple different pigments that I'm going to be adding into the resin. I'm not going to do too much. I want to be careful I don't overwhelm it. I don't want it to be opaque, but I would like to get a little bit of each one of these shades in there because I think they all match really well for the image. So that'll be another little challenge to figure out. So if you're not familiar, first step is to mix the resin, and you want to do it in a 1-to-1 ratio for the resin and the hardener. So I'll be doing that now. I find that pouring really slowly helps me to make sure that I'm pouring the correct amount. Okay. There we go. So then we want to start mixing that up to combine it really well. And it's going to get all bubbly, but don't worry, that's what the fire's for. So you want to stir it pretty constantly for about at least 2 minutes. And then after that, you can begin to add your pigment. Always important to make sure that you're scraping the bottom, scraping the sides, and getting it really well mixed in. Otherwise, if you don't have the ratio correct, if it's a little bit more of one than the other, it won't set up properly. Same thing if you don't get it good and mixed. You could wind up with a gummy or even a soft resin, which is no good. Alright, we're probably about good to add our pigment. And again, I'm going to be really kind of sparing with this because I don't want it to wind up being opaque. Just going to do a little dip. And I don't think I'm going to do more than that for this, since I have the other colors to add still too. Because I really don't want to have too much, I'm actually going to clean the brush in between pigments. I want to be really controlled about this. Ooh, I haven't used this color yet, it's really nice. I like that. And probably because that one's so dark, I'm actually going to go even lighter on that one. Yeah, I don't want to use a lot of that. All right, last one. A really nice silvery purple. It really matches her gloves and hat pretty well. Because that one's a little more light. I'll be a little more generous with that one. There we go. All right. If anyone's curious, the pigments that I'm using are Pearl X. They're very nice. I've been happy with them so far. All right, so now more mixing. And we'll get kind of a tint to the resin, but it should still remain pretty clear. We'll just get little specks and flecks of that metallic pigment that will just give a little bit of dimension to our resin pour. Alright. I dig it. Alright, and now the equally exciting and nerve-wracking part where I actually pour the resin. So I always like to start in the middle and work my way out towards the edges. As you can see, it is super bubbly. But don't worry. Magic will happen. So I'm going to kind of manually spread this out. Because again, I don't want it, if I can help it, going over the edges. I just kind of want to get that right up to the edge. And doming up nice without pouring over. Okay. Alright, very good. I like that. So I don't think I quite have enough to maybe push the rest of this over, so we're gonna add a little more. Not too much more though, because I really don't want to have too much. One thing I can say is that if you decide to get into combining resin with 2D art, expect to make a mess. There's no way around it. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I always make some sort of mess. I really like the way the light catches the resin, kind of bouncing between the metallic vinyl that I have in the background for this. Alright, we need a little more. Just a little tiny bit more for that top corner. That's enough. Probably more than enough. There we go. I'm just kind of checking. I think we've got it all the way to the edges, all the way around. No big drips or drops. I'm into it. Alright, and now for my favorite part. The best part. The magic. The fire. So I have this little butane torch that I got specifically for this purpose, and it has definitely elevated my resin work. And watch the magic. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, look at it. All the bubbles are gone. And now all you have left is resin and sparkle. Oh, I dig it. Very happy. So, there you have it. Haru has been resined. Now I just need to set her kind of out of the way. Probably see if I can get a cardboard box to kind of put over the top to try to keep any debris or dust from the air from getting into the resin as it cures. But that is it. Uh-oh. Why did that happen? We lost our connection to my camera for some reason. There we go. We're back. Not that there's a whole lot else to say anyway, but ta-da! That is my process, at least for resining over the top of paintings. Thanks for checking it out, and I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.